This is a look at the impact that Desean Jackson has had in only 2 games playing with the Ravens. We know he played against the Saints, looked quite dangerous a couple of times, and then had an injury, sat out 2 weeks. I think the Ravens had a bye in there, and then played quite well against the Jaguars down in Jacksonville this past week. A couple of routes that you'll see early in the game against the Saints. I feel like it's going to sound crazy. I feel like they almost need more of Desean Jackson on the field. I don't know what we can get accomplished with him on the field on run concepts, but to me, he brings an element that we do not have now with Rashad Bateman out. This is a deep curl by him. He's teamed with Duve up here at the top side. I don't know how many snaps he's getting on the field. I don't really tend to look at the snap counts, and I should, because it seems to me that he's getting less than 20. But when he is on the field, we're able to do things like this. Now, there's not a whole lot of separation here between him and Alontae Taylor. But he's still able to come back to the football and catch it. That's a rookie versus a 36-year-old guy. Unique player. Regardless of what impact we think he can have or is having, unique player to be able to do this at 36 years old. I don't know how old you are, if you're able to appreciate old people doing something one more time. This is a great play that I intend to do a video on. This concept that the Ravens use. My only problem with it is that it's almost always Prochet motioning from left to right and running a wheel. Normally we're running something like this, or maybe we're curl. Now I like the switch that we do here. Let me get back to the old stuff. I was not a huge Michael Jordan fan growing up. I just was not. I was a Charles Barkley fan. I didn't like Michael Jordan. I just didn't. But when he came back with the Wizards, I totally switched up. For real. I totally switched up. Check this out. Prochet is going to make it look like he's running the wheel and then bring it back inside, I think. And then Desean Jackson's going to be the guy who veers off to the sideline. We're just basically switching the responsibilities in terms of the routes. And I love it. It's our RPO play with Likely going out in the flats. Andrews caught this on the first possession against the Jags, by the way. It's when he fumbled. Jenkins and Aluakin, I think, forced the fumble over on the right sideline. But I like how we're doing this. We're switching this up with Prochet. Instead of him running the wheel, we're bringing it back inside here. The only thing is we can't do this with – we can't only switch the routes when Desean Jackson's out there, But this play didn't happen statistically because Morgan Moses is downfield. Had no impact on Desean Jackson's ability to catch the football. Prochet could be open there late. That's one of my favorite plays. I want to do a video of it. I think I've got 5 plays of this concept during the season. You can see that we're leaving the D end unblocked. Likely is going out into the flats. Moses is working upfield. What else is there for him to do, though? If it's a possible run play, if it's option, we can't leave this linebacker unblocked. I almost feel like it's just got to be called. You know what I mean? Make it look like it could be a run play. Great job recovering by, I think, Tyrann Mathieu. Good hands by Desean Jackson. 22, 23-yard gain, something like that. Unfortunately, didn't count. All right, neither did this one because of a great play by Alontae Taylor. I think this is when Morgan Moses forces a fumble on Lamar after he got beat by the rush end. It's an amazing play by Lamar, scrambling out to his right after picking the ball up. Most people would, run out of bounds. Nope, he's going up top to Desean Jackson. There's a little bit of contact before the play. I think I give you the all 22 of this, and you'll see Desean Jackson wasn't on this side of the field. Great play by Alontae Taylor. But I'm pointing it out to credit Desean Jackson. He made himself available. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the play here. There's Desean Jackson down at the bottom side. You get this CF in the backfield. He's fighting with Alontae Taylor again. And, there's a little bit of a push-off somewhere in this area to try to push Alontae Taylor in this direction so he can bring the route back into the middle. He's not targeted. Were it not for this guy underplaying it, there's the opportunity to throw the ball. But, we got pressure. We got all this crap going on in the backfield, so it's not possible. I'm just talking about what Desean Jackson's doing. And then he recognizes, let me go ahead and go deep. I'm not sure that mentality-wise we have anyone else like him. Because he's made so many plays deep in his career, he seems to be someone who, that's where he wants to go. All right, Jacksonville stuff. This past week, down the bottom side, I think we've got to run the ball some with him on the field. I feel like he's got to curl this up more instead of fading to the middle of the field. But there's also a second-level defender, which I think is a Lewick here. So it's not like Lamar can throw it, on a tight angle, because then a Lewick could possibly be able to react to it. I just feel like Desean Jackson drifts this a little bit in this direction instead of kind of sitting it down more, and it brings the safety into play. Could have very easily been a catch. Hey, in some quarters of the NFL, they'd call that shit a penalty. I don't want the NFL to be officiated that way. I don't. It's a man's game, and it's supposed to be. Lewick, who's actually one of my favorite players, is drifting a little bit too much horizontally. If he gets a little more depth, there's no window for Lamar to throw this football. And I think that's why Lamar waited so long to throw it. Because to me, the ball should almost already be out if he's seeing a Lewick get horizontal, get width. And I think we're maybe a yard and a half too far in towards that safety. Great play by him. End zone angle, same play. You'll see a Lewick go horizontal with no verticality to his drop at all, no angle to his drop. Pretty lazy drop for him. Great break by, is it Cisco? And I know there was some discussion about who caught the ball, who had it, etc. No idea. Looks incomplete to me, and I think that's what they called it. Down here, bottom side, I think this is a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. Great route. Easy. Threatening vertical. We could do that all day if you're going to play off him that much. I think James Lofton touched on it well. He's a really underrated color commentary guy, if you ask me. I think he touched on it well. These young DBs don't want to get beat vertically by an old man, so maybe that's why they're giving him so much cushion. I wonder if at a certain point we're going to see people press up on him a little more, because he's shown the ability in off coverage to run multiple routes, to run a route tree that threatens the deep curl, which you saw him catch against the Saints, the deep out, which you just saw him catch right here easily, and then the vertical stuff. I think Desean Jackson's going to have an impact. Is he going to score 2-3 touchdowns? I don't know about all that. He looks effective to me. I'm just angered about from a month ago. Like, he looks effective to me. This is a cool concept designed to attack a quarters or cover 2. I only have so much screen to draw on. So this is the safety who would or should defend Desean Jackson if it's a true cover 2. He's jumping this route, a little undisciplined if you ask me. He's got second-level players to deal with it. We're bringing Robinson in here and then also Andrews in here. So if there was going to be a throw there late, it couldn't be too late, because you got this Mike linebacker dropping. He's out of the equation, so the middle of the field would be open. But I love it. Lamar's going up top, taking a shot to Desean Jackson. I saw the stat today. He's like that was like the 3rd fastest run in the NFL this year. Did I see that right? I really don't like but as it happened, it could have been to our benefit to maybe score even late. I'm not one of those people that thinks about, hey, let's not score and let's just get a field goal. Well, I wasn't thinking that during the game because we'd had so much trouble in the red zone. But looking back, you're kind of glad that we didn't score here, and you kind of wish maybe Josh Oliver didn't score either. Big moment. Clutch play by Lamar. Let me know what you think of Desean Jackson. Is he going to be a guy who gets 5 or 6 catches in a game? No. I said it when I did a Will Fuller video like 2 months ago. I felt like Will Fuller was a guy who could go, a week or 2 and only have 1 catch, maybe 2. And then all of a sudden have a 3-catch, 95-yard, 2-touchdown performance with the deep balls. Desean Jackson looks the same to me. It looks like he could have a 2 or 3 catch game with 1 or 2 touchdowns. Now, he could also very easily get hurt because of his age and the wear and tear that's on him. I think Harbaugh even kind of alluded to that when he was talking about Desean Jackson coming back from injury. And then even after that big catch that I just showed you as the last play, I think he went over to the sideline and got his thumb taped up. I have no idea what it's about. But, man, it's a physical game, whether you're playing receiver, corner, safety, whatever position you are. It's a physical game, and those collisions happen at 100 miles an hour or 21.4 miles per hour, whatever Desean Jackson supposedly was on that huge throw. I think Lamar trusts him. I think Lamar likes having him out there. I'm interested to see him a little more, to be honest with you. I'm not into the whole conversation like who should come off the field. Man, just have that conversation, with someone else. I don't engage in that. I would like to see Desean Jackson on the field more. If he's getting 15 snaps a game, which again, I don't know, but if he's getting 15, I'd like to see us push that number to 20 or 22 if he could handle it. But the problem with when you're on the field for 2 plays and then you're off the field for the next 8 minutes real time is like muscles tightening up, body temperature dropping, especially in the cold. So I do worry about that as the season gets going on. I suspect, and I'll go ahead and throw it out here, I suspect he's going to score a touchdown soon. He damn near did against the Jaguars on Sunday. Let me know what you think of his play so far. If you think I'm missing any elements there, I think he offers us something in terms of the route tree being extended. There's no short routes being run by Desean Jackson. I don't see them. There's no drags. You know what I mean? There's no snag. Well, excuse me. He did run a snag, I think, in the Jags game. I was wrong there. I think he ran one snag route, which is like an angled hook. Generally, you're talking about deep curls, a deep out. Maybe I think he ran one speed out against the Saints, but wasn't targeted. The ball was thrown to the other side of the field. A post, a deep curl. I think there's got to be some double moves in there, but double moves are kind of predicated on, some 3 or 5 step route that you use and then breaking the double move off of that. I don't see the 3 or 5 step routes to establish the double move really. I just see a speed threat and one that we need because Duve doesn't look healthy to me. Watching him run on that kick return the other day and then watching him on the one vertical up the middle of the field, he doesn't look 100%, doesn't look near 100% to me in terms of his burst. Neither does Mark Andrews for that matter. So whatever juice there is left or whatever gas there is left in the Desean Jackson tank, I'd like to see us use it. And if that means we use him a little bit too much, 1 or 2 games, and he sits out a couple weeks, so be it. Because we need points. One more touchdown in a game against the Jags, and the game is over. One more touchdown by us where we don't settle for a field goal. So however those things can happen, I'm an advocate for. I don't care who comes off the field. I even like I'll be real, I even like our formations where we don't have a running back on the field if it's a passing situation. I kind of like those. Where we don't have a running back and we're just using Ricard to block and we get an extra receiver on the field as opposed to, another tight end and a running back. So let me know what you think of Desean Jackson's game, what you think of his impact so far. If you're kind of surprised like I am, even though he made plays last year in 2021 for the Rams and the Raiders, if you're surprised that he can kind of still pull these things off at age 36. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section.